Let's talk about the costovertebral joints. For that, we're going to go to the next slide. Okay, the first thing that we need to see is that the costovertebral joints have two types of joints. So we have one joint over here with the head of the rib and the inferior demifacet, and the superior demifacet. And we have another joint over here. This is called the costotransverse joint. Whereas this one is the joint with the head of the rib. So an important point to understand is that the rib always articulates with the superior demifacet of the vertebra of the same number. So let's suppose this is rib number 4. This vertebra would be T4. And this vertebra would be T3. Okay? Now here's where it gets complicated. So let's start counting the number of joints. An important point to understand is that from ribs 2 all the way up to ribs 10. How many ribs do we have on each side? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How much is that? 9 ribs on one side and 9 ribs on the other side. Okay? So that's a total of 18 ribs. These ribs all have 3 joints. One here, and one here. Okay? So 18 times 3 gives us 54. Now, ribs 1, so remember this number. Ribs 1, 11, and 12. These ribs articulate in a different fashion, so they're just a little bit more special. Rib 1 only articulates with the rib 1 articulates only with the vertebra of the same number. Rib 1 only articulates with the vertebra of the same number. So we would have T1 and rib 1. So how many joints is that in total? 2 on the right side and 2 on the left side. 4 joints. And ribs 11 and 12, they do not articulate with the transverse process. So let's say this is rib 11. This would be T11. And it only articulates with the vertebra of the same number. So we have 1 on each side, 1 on the right, 1 on the left. So that's 2 joints. And same with T12 and rib 12. So we have 2 joints. How much is that in total? 4, 2, 2, that's 8. So 54 plus 8 gives us, waiting for you to speak, 62. I'm assuming. Yeah, 62 joints. 62 joints. Can you imagine that? So that's 62 joints just with the ribs with the vertebral column. Okay? I hope there's no confusion. We just described, let's put that on this page now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. We have 2 here and 2 here. and 3 on all of these, from 2 to 10. That gives us a total of 18 ribs on each side with 3 joints. 54. So you have 54 on one side. Sorry, both sides. 54 on both sides. Because you have 9 ribs on one side, 9 ribs on the other. 54 plus 2 here and 2 here. That gives us plus 4 at the bottom. Let's make this a little simpler. 54 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2. Okay? That gives us a total of 62 ribs with vertebrae. Okay? Now, let's move on a little bit.